Good evening, a pleasant welcome to Newsline, one full hour of news from Liberia and other parts of the world. Today is Monday, July 8, 2024. My name is Fabian Kuya, presenting these are the top stories. President Joseph Boyka affirms Liberia's commitment to democracy and good governance in the sub-region. Lofa County Senator Momo Saras says 17 companies in the Czech Republic have expressed interest to invest in key sectors of Liberia.
17 businesses, including the government of the Czech Republic, wants to come and intervene.
Authorities of the Monrovia Central Prison announced that it will not accept new inmates beginning July 8 due to overcrowding. In Kenya, court awards 10 million shillings or 78,000 United States dollars in compensation to the widow of a prominent Pakistani journalist killed by police. These stories and much more, including sports, the weather report, the news in simple English and French. But first, Grace Towell and the news bulletin.
President Joseph Boakai has affirmed Liberia's commitment to democracy and good governance in the ECOWAS region. President Boakai said the country will actively join ECOWAS authorities' mediation efforts to facilitate the return of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso to the regional bloc. The president also announced Liberia's campaign for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the 2026 to 2027 period. He underlined Liberia's pledge to championing the causes of states in addressing pressing issues such as migration resulting from terrorism, conflict, and climate change. The Liberian leader spoke over the weekend when he made Liberia's case on democracy and good governance at the 65th Ordinary Summit of the ECOWAS held in Abuja, Nigeria. He expressed gratitude for the warm reception and support extended to him and his delegation and thanked his colleagues for their congratulations and unwavering support following his inauguration as the 26th president of Liberia. Meanwhile, the Liberian leader has joined other ECOWAS leaders to unanimously endorse Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu for a second term as the chairman of ECOWAS heads of state and government. In his acceptance speech, President Tinubu appointed Senegalese President Bassirou Faye as his special envoy to mediate in reversing the decision of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso to withdraw from regional bloc. According to a dispatch, the date and venue for the 66th Ordinary Section of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government are set to be announced soon. Lofa County Senator Momo Sarah says 17 companies in the Czech Republic have expressed interest to invest in Liberia. Senator Sarah said the companies vowed to open factories following future bilateral discussions with the Liberian government. He also disclosed the companies expressed interest to invest in agriculture, health, and infrastructure sectors of the country.
There are 17 businesses, including the government of the Czech Republic, who wants to come and intervene. You know, if you say the Czech Republic is one of the richest countries in Europe, one of the most stable countries, one of the most industrialized countries. People produce from nowhere to something. I mean, I visited factories of vehicles. I mean, they have surplus than what they need.
The Lofa County Senator noted Liberia has great potential for investment and that the presence of the companies in the country will boost the economy. He spoke Monday on the Bumper Show on Elbc Radio. Meanwhile, Lofa County Senator Momo Saras has expressed concern about the source of trucks and earth-moving equipment. Senator Saras said the presence of the equipment is a good idea, but the source needs to be made public. The Lofa County Senator noted in the spirit of transparency and accountability, it will be prudent to disclose the cost. Senator Saras maintained that educating Liberians on how the machines were acquired, especially the procurement process, will clear the doubt of citizens. He made a statement on the Bumper Show Monday. Authorities of the Monrovia Central Prison have announced that it would not accept new inmates due to overcrowding of the facility beginning July 8. Currently, the prison is hosting over 1,000 inmates amid accommodation challenge confronting one of the country's maximum prisons. The superintendent of the Monrovia Central Prison, Vanya Lake, attributed their decision to lack of substance funds to provide regular feeding for inmates for 10 months. Superintendent Lake disclosed he has written Montserrat County acting attorney on the increment of inmates at the prison. He decried the feeding of inmates has reached alarming proportion. The Monrovia Central Prison was built for 374 inmates. 30-year-old Paul Daddy has reportedly admitted to raping a 12-year-old girl in Quebo, Jorokan, Refugee County. According to our correspondent, the man admitted to the crime during police investigation in the county. The man persuaded the 12-year-old girl to enter his room after he gave his phone to her to watch movies. The victim is at the Fishtown Referral Hospital taking treatment. Meanwhile, the 30-year-old man is expected to face court trial following police investigation. The media coordinator in the office of the Vice President of Liberia, Joseph Wangbe, has charged local authorities in Gbelege Administrative District to uphold the arrest agenda of President Joseph Yuma Boakai. Mr. Wangbe said the arrest agenda should be the priority of all Liberians, especially officials appointed by the president to help run the administration. He made the remarks over the weekend when he represented the vice president at the induction of local officials in Compline Nimba. The VP media coordinator admonished local government officials to be of service to the people and serve with commitment and dedication. President Joseph Boakai has promised that his government will clear the 18.6 million debt Liberia currently owes regional bloc ECOWAS. President Boakai described the debt as shocking but promised to pay in order to allow Liberia regain leadership position at the regional level. President Joseph Boakai has admitted that lack of remitting the ECOWAS community levy collected over the years has had huge impact on the country's position. He spoke over the weekend in an Elbc interview while attending his first ECOWAS summit in Abuja, Nigeria. President Boakai said issues discussed including countering terrorism, remitting community tax, and negotiating the re-inclusion of Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso in the bloc are of key interest to Liberia. Dozens of school-going kids in Kangbate, Gbakbulu County are out of school due to lack of learning facility in the area. According to our correspondent, Kangbate is located in District 2, Gbakbulu County, with more than 2,000 inhabitants. They are calling on government to construct a modern high school in the area. The resident believes government's timely intervention will remedy the situation and get the kids on par with their colleagues. Liberians have praised President Joseph Boakai and the government for bringing in the country earth-moving equipment for development purposes. The citizens say the equipment clearly demonstrates the government's commitment to the infrastructure development under its arrest agenda. Over the weekend, citizens lined up the streets and watched with excitement as the machines were put on display by a government team led by Minister of State with our portfolio, Mamaka Ability. The citizens believe if the machines are fully utilized, the country's long-standing road infrastructure deficit will finally be addressed. They said addressing the country's road infrastructure gaps will go a long way in improving the quality of life for citizens. The executive mansion now has a new chief of protocol. He is Ambassador Emmett Kennedy. An executive mansion release says President Joseph Boakai appointed Ambassador Kennedy on Monday, July 8, describing him as an astute statesman with several years of experience in diplomacy. President Boakai also named Winifred Deshield as Deputy Chief of Protocol at the Executive Mansion, the position she previously held prior to her new portfolio. The release quotes the president as urging the appointed officials to continue demonstrating diligence, commitment, integrity, and loyalty in service to country. The appointment take immediate effect. And Assistant Internal Affairs Minister for Urban Affairs, Mark Jabate, has expressed a serious concern over the influx of teenagers at nightclubs. Minister Jabate described the situation as troubling to see underage children visiting nightclubs in Monrovia and its environs. He wants nightclubs operators put in place stringent measures to prevent children access to their facilities.
There are two things that destroy the young generation today: drugs, alcohol. underage children, they are drinking alcohol excessively. And that's why, as a Minister for Urban Affairs, we are calling on the Liberian National Police.
The Assistant Internal Affairs Minister for Urban Affairs sounded his disappointment in an Elbc interview Monday in Painesville. Minister Jabate also called on the Liberian National Police to work along with nightclubs operators to regulate their activities.
Crystal in the news bulletin. She rethinks a little with the weather report and foreign news. One of the big stories we're following. Authorities of the Monrovia Central Prison announced that it will not accept new inmates beginning July 8 due to overcrowding. 17 companies in Czech Republic have expressed interest to invest in Liberia. The companies are targeting the agriculture, security, energy, and infrastructure sectors of the country. Senator Momo Saros made a disclosure on the bumper